Again, we're in Seville and we've just finished riding Ducati's new Super Sport. Now it's a long-awaited sports bike from Ducati, and I guess the first thing we really need to do is kind of figure out what it is. Is it a sports tourer? Is it a sports bike? Is it comfortable? It's got a lot of performance? Really, the best way to think of this bike really is that it's the spiritual successor to those old SS air-cooled Ducatis that were around in the 90s and early noughties. The kind of understudies to the superbikes. So the Super Sport now is to the Panigale what the old SS would have been to the 916 and the 999 and the 851, that kind of thing. It's a bit of a mishmash. It's got an engine from the Hypermotard 939 and the Multistrada 950, but it's been retuned, so it's got a wider spread of power. Hasn't got as much grunt, but it's revier. The engine is housed in a chassis which is based on the Monster, and it's got bodywork which takes inspiration from the Panigale. So it's a bit of a mishmash of all the Ducati bikes. But what it is if you're fed up with sports bikes that are really uncomfortable, that have got a zillion horsepower and really knife edge to ride, this is a sports bike you can actually enjoy. It's not intimidating, it's not threatening, it's very easy to ride fast, it's got lots of nice electronics to make sure that you go home safely after your ride. It is really impressive. We've ridden it on the road and track, but unfortunately it was always wet, so we didn't really get to push it and really discover what it's capable of, and as a result didn't really leave you kind of bouncing off the rev limiter with joy after you finish riding it. I think we're going to need to do another test of it back in the UK in the dry to really see what it's got. But it's not a sports tourer either. Something like a Z1000 SX or a GSX S1000 is more touring. It's got more power, but doesn't handle as well as the Ducati. The Ducati's real strong point is its handling. It's very stable. It's got a lot of grip, a lot of ground clearance. The Pirelli Rosso Diablo 3 tyres are fantastic in the wet, but it hasn't got that sports touring riding position. It's still quite sporty. As a tall rider, still quite a bend of my legs to get my feet on the pegs. Not as bad as a super sport bike, proper super sport bike. And there's quite a stretch to the bars, which means you're riding with your arms straight and you've got quite a lot of weight on your wrist still. But the seat's comfortable. The two-way adjustable screen gives good wind protection. And overall it's just a lovely, lovely bike. You've got two versions, standard version which is about £11,500, and for another grand or £1,500 more you can have the S version, which has got O-lins and an auto blipper and a quick shifter and a seat cowl. But with that bike, 959 Panigale is over only £1,000 more, so sort of which would you have? The Panigale is actually not that uncomfortable. So in summary, the Super Sport is a sporty bike that has got good performance, fantastic handling, brilliant brakes, but it's not too powerful to kind of intimidate you. And it's not really a tourer, but you could do a lot of distance on it and you could ride to work on it every day and be perfectly happy. So the good news is that we're going to get to test it again to see what you can do in the dry. But for now, I think it's a pretty impressive effort from Ducati.